Once, a man who was a well-known criminal decided to go meet Buddha. He had committed a lot of sins in his life, and so he wanted Buddha's help. But he was afraid that Buddha's disciples would not allow him to enter the ashram. The sinner decided to go at such a time when all the disciples of Buddha were resting. Instead of entering from the main gate, he entered the ashram from the backyard. Unfortunately, Buddha had been out to collect food from the nearby village, and the sinner was caught by one of the Buddha's disciples, and immediately a large group of all the disciples gathered. The sinner said, "I have not come to steal or anything. I am well known around here. I am the most hated and feared by most of the villagers. I was just afraid that you would not allow me through the main gate. That is why I entered from the backyard. You might not believe me, but I want to become a sannyasi, and that is why I came here." The disciples took him to Sariputra, who was a great astrologer and had the capacity to read people's past lives. The disciples asked Sariputra, "Please look into this man's past lives. In this life he is a sinner, but maybe he earned some good karma in his past lives, and that's why now he wants to become a sannyasi." Sariputra closed his eyes and looked into the past 1,000 lives of the sinner, but he was always the same. He killed innocent people, raped innocent women, and earned his livelihood through stealing other people's fortune. Even Sariputra started trembling and said, "This man is so dangerous. For 1,000 lives, he was always a sinner. It is impossible that this man will ever change into a good man. Even the divine Buddha cannot do anything." Saying this, Sariputra asked the disciples to take him out of the ashram immediately. The man was turned down from the possibility of becoming a sannyasi. He was hurt, and he started to hit his head against a stone wall to kill himself. Just then, Buddha returned from the village, and seeing this man, he stopped him and heard his desire to become a sannyasi and took him inside the ashram, and immediately Buddha made him his disciple. Everybody standing outside were confused. Sariputra went to Buddha and said, "This man has lived 1,000 lives killing innocent people and has been a sinner. How can this man become a sannyasi? This is an insult to all the good people in this world." Buddha replied, "You looked into his past, but you did not look into his future. At any point of time, a person can decide to change, and this very decision is decisive. This man has lived 1,000 lives in misery, but now he wants to change, and this desire to change himself is infinite, and it will carry into his next 1,000 lives. You see, life is never fair to many of us. Most of us decide to stay in the past, to stay miserable thinking about the terrible things we have done, and the people around us poke their nose into other people's matters. They point their fingers at that one mistake you did in the past and conclude that you have never changed or will never change. The world will talk bad about you even if you want to forget the bad things you have done, but it is our responsibility to keep on striving to be a better person. When you are writing a story, at some point of time, there comes a full stop. But even after that full stop, you can keep on building the story. It is upon you how you build it. Will it be a bad story or a good one?